Have y'all noticed a pattern with directors that came from the MCU going on to make fucking masterpieces almost immediately after? We got Ryan Coogler, who went from Black Panther, which was good, to Sinners, and then we got Nia DaCostia going from the Marvels to the Bone Temple this year, and now Sam Raimi's caught that fever. Hello and welcome to my review of Send Help. I'm just going to say right off the bat, I fucking love Sam Raimi. There is not a single one of his movies that I do not like. Even Multiverse of Madness, weird. Plot was all over the place. There was a lot of weird shit going on, but when you could tell it was him at the reins, you could tell that he was just putting his all into it to the best visibility. Anyway, as soon as I saw the trailers for Send Help, as soon as I saw that Sam Raimi's name was attached to it, and I saw just how batshit insane it was going to be, I was locked the fuck in. This was easily one of my top most anticipated movies of the year, and it does not disappoint for a second. Here, Rachel McAdams, who you may know as Regina George in the 2004, I believe, Mean Girls. And then going back to the MCU, she was Christine in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. She was also in The Notebook, which I have not seen. And then we have Dylan O'Brien to Maze Runner fame. We got a good small cast and a really fun concept. This is a film about two characters from the same office, one of them being the CEO, and the other being a pretty used and abused worker that was promised a position that was immediately shoved in her face and just basically told, hey, go fuck yourself. And then they're stranded on this deserted island, and the power imbalance just goes back and forth, mostly ending up in the hands of Rachel McAdams, but it does go to Dylan O'Brien sometimes. Oh my god, this movie is so much fun. If you're a fan of Sam Raimi, you're going to fucking love this movie. But if you're not a big fan of Sam Raimi, just know that it's a very zany, strange, dark humor movie. And I don't mean dark humor like Reddit, weird 4chan type dark humor. I mean, this is a horror comedy. This is such a fun movie, and I had a damn good time with it. Alright, let's talk about the things that I absolutely love about this movie. First of all, the performances. Holy shit. The line delivery, everything about it. Amazing. These subtleties in their characters, their little quirks, the way these characters are also constructed. Fan-fucking-tastic. My hat is off for the two main actors and Sam Raimi for writing them. I believe there are also two other co-writers on this. I do not remember them off the top of my head. And frankly, it's almost 2 in the morning. I don't feel like looking anything up. The comedy here is also on point, which is, of course, on brand for Sam Raimi. He has a sense of humor that just really works with me. Whether it be the Evil Dead franchise or the Spider-Man movies, I love the humor in all of them. And it's been a good second since I've been in a theater where pretty much everybody was laughing. I think the last one I can think of is Weapons. My theater wasn't the fullest, but everyone was laughing quite a lot. I don't really laugh a lot during movies in the theater experience, but I was laughing pretty fucking hard. The Raiminess of this movie, if you're not familiar with a Raimi movie, weird shit happens. You can almost immediately catch on to his style. Watch one movie of his, and you can catch on to all the quirks and isms that he has, with the camera work, the character writing, the comedy, the dark humor, the weird spooky shit he does, the jump scares, this and that. He has a particular style that I've grown up with, and I just absolutely adore it. Now, when it comes to the actual story and the execution of it, almost nothing in this movie I really expected after the first 45 minutes. Once all the scenes from the trailer played out, I was just left wondering what's going to happen next. And boy, is there some insane foreshadowing in this. There's a lot of, hey, here's a little bit of this that you think is going to come into play later, and oh my god, it does. When you have these twists revealed, holy shit. It is a very simple concept of a movie. Two people, power imbalance, stuck on this island together, weird shit's happening, and it's this constant back and forth power dynamic. But all these extra twists on what's going on, holy shit, it is executed so well. Of course, I can't talk about that without talking about the main characters. Let's start with Rachel McAdams' character, Linda. Her performance of just pure quirkiness and then utter psychopathy, so charming and just utterly shocking at moments, especially toward the third act. She's played brilliantly. She's written brilliantly. She is an actual menace to society, but is so fun to watch. And something I didn't really expect with this film was the douchebag CEO guy, Bradley Prescott, I think is his name. He's the one played with Dylan O'Brien. He has a shocking amount of depth to his character. You just think he's going to be some CEO, jackass, rich kid, but he genuinely has moments where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of on your side on this. You're actually kind of making sense. I understand you. You're still a complete douchebag. I get where you're coming from. You actually have depth. I still want you to fucking die. I still want you to get absolutely demolished. But at the same time, a little part of me just wants to see if you do survive against Rachel McAdams. They don't really make you fully sympathize with his character. There are elements that make you empathize with why he acts the way he does. But I was genuinely surprised that they gave him as much depth as they did. All around, the character writing here is just top notch. So much fun, great comedy, great action, great horror, a lot of really tense moments where you're gonna think what's gonna happen next. It becomes kind of unpredictable. Maybe I'm just stupid and I can't predict things well, but at least for me, a lot of things were just so not really out of the blue, but just really hits you in the face. If you love Sam Raimi, you love his style, you love the way he writes characters, it is done with excellence here. When it comes to the things that I'm mixed on, both of these lean a little more toward the positive rather than the negative. I really don't have that much negative to say about this movie, and that's not just me being a Sam Raimi dick rider. I do understand that the style of film that he does produce, it's not for everybody, so take that as you will. But the things I am personally mixed on are the music from Danny Elfman, which I was genuinely not expecting. I can hear kind of twinges of it through the movie, but all around, it doesn't really feel like a Danny Elfman soundtrack. It is a very good soundtrack, do not get me wrong for a second. I was just very surprised to see that it was actually a Danny Elfman soundtrack. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Again, I'm saying this is a really, really, really good soundtrack. Just not what I was expecting. And speaking of things that I was not expecting, there was a lot less carnage and bloodshed and violence than I was expecting. I don't really consider myself to be a gore hound or anything, but then again, I go watch the Saw and Terrifier movies pretty frequently. I do enjoy when movies have a good bit of carnage to them, and this is the guy responsible for making the first 3 Evil Dead movies. I was just genuinely surprised that he didn't go as far as he could have. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, not by any means. And it wasn't really a letdown, it was just, oh, no. I thought I would have done a little more, but okay, that's really good. And then for the cons section, very, very short here. Again, I fucking love this movie, if you can't already tell. The animal CGI isn't really the best, but it's not super egregious. And there's only so much that you can do to make a CGI animal truly look lifelike. It just wasn't really my thing. I just didn't really like how specifically the boars and the bugs looked. They felt very video game-y. But because it is a Sam Raimi movie where he's known for these kind of bizarre practical effects and visual effects in general, I can kind of give it a pass. And then this is an absolute sin. This is what really took me out of the movie. This just really broke my heart. And I'm sad to say, the worst thing about this movie, there's no Bruce Campbell cameo. Mr. Ashley Williams himself does not make a cameo in this movie. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Bruce Campbell played Ashley Williams in the first 3 Evil Dead movies that were directed by Sam Raimi. He's made cameos in a bunch of his other movies, including the Spider-Man trilogy and Multiverse of Madness. I think he was also in Drag Me to Hell, but I cannot remember off the top of my head. But there was no Bruce Campbell cameo. It's so tragic. I can't believe they would do this to me. I'm just kidding around. I am kind of sad that they did not have a cameo from him. But it's not the worst thing on the fucking planet, okay? All around, I fucking love this movie. It is just such a goddamn fun movie from one of my favorite directors. Dare I say this is easily one of his best movies? Maybe? Possibly? I still hold the Spider-Man trilogy to my very core, and you just can't deny that the Evil Dead movies are just fucking awesome. But this is just so much fun. If you're a fan of horror comedies, Sam Raimi, or any aspect of this movie that may intrigue you, like the constant back and forth of this power imbalance, or the deserted island thing, if any of those tickle your fancy, give this movie a watch. Dare I say, I'm going to get the DVD for it. That is the highest honor I can bestow upon a movie. I'm getting the DVD for it. Thank you very much for sticking around to the very end here. The next video, which should be coming out shortly after this, will be of Markiplier's Iron Lung. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what February has in store for movies. I know the Scream 7's coming out. Anyway, enough of my yapping. Y'all have a wonderful day, take care, and I'll see y'all soon.